I know what it's like to go from being dead broke to having a car repossessed to having considerably more than enough and then back to being dead broke, but this time married and about to get kicked out of the place I'm living in with my wife because I owe about $8,000 to $10,000 in back rent to my landlord. That, my friends, is the entrepreneurial life that I'm currently living, and it's kind of a shock because I'm supposed to be the success guy, and here I am suffering more than the average person right now, and yeah, it's kind of baffling. So yeah, that's where I'm at. In social media, you never really get to see the struggles that people went through in the videos that they post. You only get to see the after effects. So I thought it would be really cool for you guys to see things from where I'm at right now and on the journey of success I have with the latest plans I've created for myself within the last week, given the latest circumstances. So before I move on, if you want to help out and try to keep my wife and I in the same place that we're living in, shoot $1 or $2 or $10 or whatever you're willing to give over to my Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal with the username GeorgeJMaster, or simply Zelle that over using my contact information, GeorgeJMaster@gmail.com. That information will be provided below this video. So yeah, we're about to get kicked out of this place. Hopefully we won't get kicked out if I can get enough to continue to stay here with my lovely bride, because I just have so many plans right now that I'm trying to put into action to get us out of the hole and back on the track to success. So entrepreneurial life is never really the easiest thing in the world. I've been doing sales for pretty much my whole life, and then in 2019 I left the door-to-door sales industry temporarily and engaged in residential wholesaling, and then I ended up having a couple of vehicle accidents, and then I ended up having my lung collapse on a Thanksgiving morning of all times, which resulted in a hospital stay of about 11 days and the surgeons needing to cut a piece of my lung off. So now I've got staples in the top of my lung, and obviously when you don't have insurance, that bill isn't cheap, and that wipes you out literally thousands and thousands of dollars. $108,000 to be exact was that hospital bill. Then I'm married, and then more unplanned things happen. Depression, which never occurred to me would actually be a thing in my life, and let me tell you, it ain't easy. You want an example from somebody who experienced depression? Go listen to Grant Cardone. He experienced depression. There's plenty of entrepreneurial spirits out there who have gone through depressive episodes and then somehow managed to bounce back out and get back on the road to success. I'm currently in that state, bouncing out of depression, trying to get things back in order. I mean, I have no choice given the circumstances I'm in. So by default, I'm forced to do things that I need to do to get back on track. So yeah, got the depression thing going on, and then early in my marriage here, my wife unfortunately had a miscarriage within the last 6 months, and then I needed to go to the emergency room for this thing called C. diff and Campylobacter that I got from freaking bird poop of all things. So obviously, between those two experiences with my wife's miscarriage and my needing to go to the emergency room for that bird crap virus I got, that's a lot. So here I am, trying to get back out. So I've been thinking of, what the hell did I do wrong? And, I think back, there's a lot of things I did wrong. So I should have taken all of the cash that I had and started the business that I'm planning on starting right now when I had all that capital. So now I got to start a business from literally nothing, which is what obviously a lot of entrepreneurs have done in this world and have become very successful. So this business I'm going to be doing is a sales-oriented business in the area of protecting individuals and families. I've been involved in that business since 2011. It's a very scalable model, and the yield and the spread after all things are paid for as far as overhead and paying employees is huge. So I'm gonna freaking do it, and then with everything I earn on that, not only am I going to be using it to pull myself out of the hole that I'm in, assuming I am still going to be able to live here if I could have some help from many of you out there watching this, wink wink, but and no pressure, by the way. If you can't do it, that's not a problem. Life happens. I'm sure I'll figure it out. But the cool thing is I'll be able to use a lot of the funding that I generate from my new business to funnel into my real estate ventures of owning large scale properties that have 15 doors or more. And obviously I want to own maybe 5 to 10 individual single family properties, but the end goal is to own multi-family properties, because that is, in my opinion, and based on what I've viewed and studied from individuals who've been very successful in real estate holdings, that is the ultimate way to wealth. Now, I'm not seeking wealth so that I can buy the most expensive shit in the world. Like, I don't care about that. I think it'd be cool to have a Ram truck with a Cummins diesel engine, but I honestly just want to get from point A to point B, have enough cash to head to the gym every day, and then have enough cash to not only pay the rent, but to be able to freaking eat food and feed my future family whenever those babies come down the line. That's why I'm trying to be rich. And unfortunately, you can't do that having a 9-to-5 job where you punch in and then you just sit around, and most people don't do jack squat at work. They do what I like to call milking the clock. And you know who you are. When I had my old clock-in job, we would freaking do that all the time. I was a school bus driver, and bus drivers would literally just sit in their bus, and I would go there, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're milking the clock. Oh, sweet. Can I join you guys? I was 21 years old when that was happening. I'm 36 now. And people are still freaking do that. They're always going to do that. They always have, and they always will. Only problem is, if you want to go on vacation, the likelihood of that getting approved is very slim. Whereas if you have the life where you're in control of your own schedule, then you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. Unfortunately, there are some drawbacks to that, which is literally what I'm experiencing right now. Now, if there was some kind of entrepreneurial job that forced you to clock in but still gave you the freedoms, maybe I would be motivated. I don't know. Many people operate differently. I've got an ADHD brain. But with the depression that I wasn't expecting, boy, that really brought me down very low to the point to where I felt like I couldn't even function. Now, fortunately, I'm a long distance runner, so I'm able to run a lot of this stuff off. So that's probably why depression hasn't affected me physically as much as it has for many of the other folks out there. So I'm able to think clearly, but the functioning aspect is not there. So it's never an easy thing. So I hope if you're watching this video right now that you're literally seeing the raw version of GeorgeJMaster. This is as raw as I get. This is as low as I am. I am in the negative with my credit cards. My bank accounts are pretty much zeroed out. I have one bank account where I have about $167. But every other bank account I have out there, and I've got 3, they are zeroed out. And I think Navy Federal may have closed my checking accounts because they don't allow accounts to be open for an extended period of time if you have a zero balance for an extended period of time. Fortunately, if you decide to get back into it, they'll open an account again, so that's not a problem. But beside the point. So, yeah. I'm going to have more videos coming up on my personal experiences with this. So, stay tuned, and I hope to be able to show you guys the amount of success I'm projecting for myself over the next 3 to 5 years. In the immediate, the plan is get myself out of this hole, get the capital I need to start that sales business that's scalable and that has a very high yield after all expenses are paid, and then funneling the after cash into my real estate ventures. So we'll see where this goes. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your concern. And let's all keep trekking along together in our journey to beat the rat race.